welcome back to Beat the Meat. Today, we're making a sauce. This sauce is particularly for root vegetables, okay? Root vegetables are I think, the hurdle for going to a vegan diet. They have a bad reputation, rightly so. They're very high in starches, right? They're kind of like the white bread of the vegetable world, right? So this sauce, not only will it taste delicious, it's the sauce designed to go with root vegetables and when you go vegan. One of the mistakes I made was leaning too heavily on those delicious, potatoes and, I really like carrots, that sort of thing. Leaning on those too heavily, and it's such an easy meal, chucking a whole bunch of, potatoes, sweet potatoes, even radishes, beetroots, all the root vegetables, just chucking them in the oven, roasting them up, and eating them with some rice. It's easy to go white rice. That's a fast track to diabetes, guys. So things went really badly for me when I first tried to go vegan because I just found it really easy and delicious to have all these yummy things like root vegetables and stuff. So anyway, here are the ingredients for this. It's basically anti-diabetes sauce. So starting over here, we have got our tamarind concentrate. Alright, you gotta get yourself some of this. Must have for the vegan kitchen. Okay, anti-diabetes, I'm not going to prove all this to you. Have a little look into the research, research it yourself about, how this all works, or just, have a bit of faith. Hopefully you've tried some of those mince recipes and I know what I'm doing, guys. So get some tamarind paste and get a giant vat or get a giant barrel of tahini. Lap that up. Tahini, okay, that's got your manganese in it too. And I'm just going to skip forward to our other must-have. Forget the brand, just get whatever you can. Your vegan, nutritional, savory yeast flakes, yada yada yada. You've got your B vitamins chucked in there, so it's going to be for my wild conspiracy theory of nuts and seeds combined with. So these are the seeds. Oh my gosh, look at me with the zoom on this handy cam, guys. Sorry. Vegan nutritional yeast flakes. Combining them with seeds and nuts creates your protein synthesis in the gut. So that's the conspiracy theory that I'm going with for the vegan thing. It does work, guys. You just got to have a bit of faith. Chopped tomatoes. Tin of chopped tomatoes. I might just ignore that and go fresh today, but you want your tin of tomatoes. Must have in any kitchen, any pantry. Cumin. Guys, cumin is literally anti-diabetic medicine in Ayurveda. So cumin's going in this, okay? Also, cumin tastes great. Must have for flavor. Dill tips as well. We've talked about what that does for your diabetes, for preventing your diabetes. Tastes great too. Okay, so this is going, dill goes real good with tomatoes in my opinion. Also real good with sesame. It just goes great with everything. It's this green, green herbs. You can basically, green herbs go with basically everything, okay? For example, if you have fresh mint in the garden, did you know you can make a delicious pasta sauce with tomatoes and mint, okay? And that is a pasta sauce that exists in Sardinia, which is in Italy. So I'm just saying, and in ancient Rome, before they used basil, they used coriander. So I'm just saying, green herbs are very versatile. Dill, very good for preventing diabetes. So this is all to do with insulin resistance. This is all to do with creating insulin sensitivity. not insulin resistance. So the root vegetables are creating insulin resistance. These are basically promoting insulin sensitivity, okay? Carom seeds, same deal, okay? We want this all to be digestible too, and these are beneficial. These are beneficial for preventing our type 2 diabetes. Mace as well. I just bought bulk mace, chucked it in a jar. Mace, to be honest, mace here is more for the flavor. So this is a sauce where you're not going to feel like you're being healthy. You're going to feel like you're being, you know, treating yourself and being gourmet. So let's move on to making the sauce. So we got element on high. Putting the pot on. Tin of tomatoes. Decided not to show off. We're going to put a whole tin of tomatoes in instead of fresh tomatoes. If you got fresh tomatoes, just chuck, you know, just eye it up. Equivalent of about 1 can of fresh tomatoes. Okay, so that's on high. We've got 3 tablespoons of our tahini. No, our tahini, guys. That's going in. 3 tablespoons. I'll show you what I mean by tablespoon too. I suppose you can measure it out, but I'm trying to make it real straightforward. A tablespoon, literally a spoon that you'd put on the table to eat your cereal with, okay? So it's 3 of those. 3 tablespoons of tamarind paste, concentrate. 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Half a teaspoon of our cumin. Half a teaspoon of our dried dill. Half a teaspoon of our carom seeds. Look at all the colours going on in there. Half a teaspoon of magical mace. And that's it. Let's stir this up. The worst thing so far with my cooking show and with vegan cooking are the colours, I reckon. You know, that doesn't look super appetizing, guys. And as chefs say, people eat with their eyes. But I think you got to eat with your mind too, right? That's simmering. Okay. Now we're starting to boil. Now that it's boiling, we're going to turn it right down to low. And we're going to simmer it for 10 minutes. It's been 10 minutes simmering away. I've taken it off the heat. And this is what we're left with. I don't think the colour's too bad. 2 more ingredients to add. And I forgot about this one. Dry mango powder. Another must-have for the vegan kitchen. So you want to find yourself a sort of, you know, an Indian spice shop. Or a shop that sells these kind of exotic things. Mango, good for preventing the old diabetes too. And, you know, my old mate, salt. So it's a teaspoon of mango powder and a teaspoon of salt. We're going to make it taste super good. One way to make this sauce look a bit more appetizing is to use one of these, stick blender. You get them real cheap. Another must-have for any kitchen. So I'm gonna blend this up and then we're gonna give it a little taste. I've just finished giving it a bit of a whiz with the old stick blender. It's taken on a beautiful color actually. Nice rosy color there. Nice consistency. Time to give it a little taste. Here we go. Yeah, nice. And it's creamy, tangy, seasoned perfectly. Ticks all the boxes for a nice little sauce to go with your root vegetables. It'll go great with the sweeter ones like the carrots and the beetroots. Sweet potato, yum. Go great with potatoes too. So, you know, look after yourself with those root vegetables. I haven't added any oil to this, have I, guys? So you could even do it with your fried potatoes. Get your rice bran oil, deep fry some nice potatoes for a little treat. Or roast them up, roast your root vegetables up in plenty of olive oil. Yum, yum, yum. So how would you know that this works for you? I could try and do some research and quote scientific research papers, Harvard University or that sort of thing. But the reality is, going vegan for spiritual reasons, for observing natural law, all the principles we've been talking about, well, how do you know that's the point to it all? Well, you got to take a leap of faith and start seeing what happens with the law of attraction. See what starts coming back to you in your life and how your life starts working out for you. And that's what I find so fascinating about going vegan. It's a leap of faith. So how are you going to know these things that I'm saying? Like, how are you going to know that this is going to help you transition to a vegan diet? Well, you're not going to know unless you give it a try. And that's the only way you can prove it to be right. And that's the only way it's actually going to be able to help you move forward. So all I can say is give it a go. You will be surprised. This will definitely help with your root vegetables and your high starch, which is one of those risks going vegan. Increasing those starches, those carbs, those sugars. You want to avoid the diabetes, guys. This sauce is going to help, and it tastes pretty darn good too. Thanks for watching. See you at the next one.